So last time I made a question and answer video, I thought the questions were very difficult, but they cannot even be compared to the kind of questions that I have to respond to today. Guys, who comes up with this kind of questions? The first question I'll be responding to is coming from Grace, and she says, "Would you come on a date, on a friendly date, with me and my son if I invited you?" And my answer is absolutely yes. I'll never pass up an opportunity to meet with my online friends. Grace and I we met through Facebook, and also the fact that your son also has a similar disability to mine. I would really love to meet him, and he may also be maybe inspired by meeting an adult who also has a similar disability to him. I also received a question from Lizzie, and your question is, what's one thing you would change about the world if God gave you the power to do so? Wow, wow. If God gave me the power to change anything about the world, as cheesy as it sounds, I would find a way to make sure that people loved, respected, and accepted each other a little bit more than what is currently going on in the world. I think we could basically just do better as human beings. We could love each other more, we could tolerate each other more, we could be more accepting and respectful of each other. My next question is coming from Ashley, and Ashley says, "What's the one non negotiable principle that you live by?" Um, God first, always. I put God first always. Whatever I do in my life, God first. Everything else and everyone else follows after that. Juvenalia, I hope I'm not butchering your name. Please correct me if I am. You want to know what three career paths I would follow if I knew that failure was not an option. If I could do anything, basically. Well, assuming that I was good at everything, I would want to be a talk show host. That would be career number one. Career number two is I would love to be a published author. And career number three is I would love to maybe be a recording artist. I also got a question from Betty, and she says, "Who really is Aaron Shaw?" This question always sounds very simple, but once you start answering it, you realize that it's not as easy to respond to. But so I'm just gonna say, as the channel goes on and as I upload more videos and talk about a lot of different other topics and issues, you will get a better grasp of who I am as a person. Koda asks, "What's one thing that you desire the most?" Contrary to popular belief, my biggest wish in life or my biggest desire doesn't have anything to do with disability. I know a lot of people assume that in fact, I've experienced this when people ask me, "What is one thing that you want the most?" and I say something else that's not like, "Oh, I wish I could walk." People look at you a little bit funny, like, dude, you're in a wheelchair. Why do you have a bigger wish than being outside of that wheelchair, being out of the wheelchair? I can't really share my biggest desire right now, but I promise you it doesn't have anything to do with walking. And Robson asks, "What's the most frightening thing regarding being in a romantic relationship? Ending up with the person who is not right for you." Man, I think that life would be hell, and it's not something I would wish on my worst enemy. So for me, that would be the worst thing to happen. Danny submitted a set of three questions, and the first one is, "What's number three on my bucket list?" So number three on my bucket list is that I would love to go across Zimbabwe on a road trip, across the entire country, visiting all the major cities and towns and all the cool resort places. I would just love to see Zimbabwe. I would love to see the whole country. Second question is, what advice would I give to the youth or to the young people? I'll just say make better choices with your life and make better choices with how you handle your social media, and also take it easy. You still have your whole life to live. Don't stress yourself too much. Don't push yourself into depression by thinking you need to achieve certain things by a certain time frame, and just understand the times and don't over exert yourself too much. And thirdly, you want to know what my favorite song is. Right now, at this moment, I would say it's Be Still by Travis Green. Okay, so the next question made me a little bit uncomfortable. Question from Norman, and it says, how did you deal with the consequences of your worst decision? And what was that worst decision, if you don't mind sharing it? And I had to think about this one quite a bit. But probably I would say the worst decision that I've made in my life was not taking better care of myself and my health. I wasn't sleeping well. I had bad sleep patterns. I wasn't eating correctly. I wasn't drinking water. I wasn't exercising as much as I should. And I gained a lot of weight, as you can obviously tell. And the weight also came with a host of other health issues. And still dealing with it. Every day is still a struggle. I'm still trying to get healthy, make better choices, and make sure that I just do the right things to improve my life. So I'm still dealing with the decisions of, with the consequences rather, of my worst decisions. I hope that answers your question, sir. Roy says, what's the most exciting thing that has ever happened to you? I actually had to think about this one a little bit more again, because at different stages of my life, there were exciting things that happened. For example, when I was really young, around 6 or 5 ish, the first time that I could properly hold a pencil by myself and write, I was elated. I was super excited because finally it meant that I could now go to school like the rest of my friends. And it was something that I had been wanting to do for a long time. My friends were going to school and I couldn't go because I couldn't even hold a pen by myself. And they had to teach me to do that. So I had to wait a little bit and learn to do stuff like that. So at that point, it was a great achievement. Another exciting thing that happened to me also happened in primary school, when I eventually got a teacher who was willing to have me in a class. Believe it or not, when I started going to school, none of the teachers wanted me in their class. They were just uncomfortable and they were very vocal about it. And I mean, it's just one of those things. But I had to learn in class in the class that was meant for people who had mostly learning and mental impairments. And I was there for a little while, and eventually, when one of the teachers decided that she wanted me in a class because mentally I was quite apt and I did not have a mental impairment. So the fact that I had to be in that class was, it was a little draining, and yeah, it just made me go through a lot. So when she finally accepted and said, you know what, you can come and be in my regular conventional class, I was elated. I know to a lot of people this sounds like very crazy things to be excited about, but to me and my family, these were miracles. There were nothing short of miracles because there were milestones that I never really thought I could achieve in life. So those were some pretty exciting things. But wait, I think I now have a proper answer for you. The most exciting thing that has happened to me, hands down, was the first time I heard my own song playing on the radio, on a radio station. Man, that was quite an experience. My next question is coming from Ngoni. Ngoni, I really want to thank you for asking me this question because it's a very important question, and I think getting a chance to address it here is absolutely fantastic. So, your question is, have I ever been angry at God for finding myself in a wheelchair? And I'm going to be very honest, because if I can't be honest, then what's the point of this altogether? The answer is yes. Very angry at God over and over again for many years. I was really angry, but more than angry, I was hurt, and I felt neglected. I felt abandoned. I felt like God had let me down. And I want to be very honest. And this kind of feelings were mainly coming from the fact that the people that I used to associate with back then and the environment, and it was always like, we have to pray, God has to heal you, you have to be whole, you need to walk again. And for me, it was a lot of pressure, and it wasn't happening. And it made me feel like if I didn't walk, I was not a complete person, I was not a full individual, I was not a whole person. And it was a lot of pressure, and because it wasn't happening, I kept going back to God and say, why isn't this happening? Every day I'm a prayer point. I'm a prayer point. Every prayer meeting is always, let's pray for Aaron, let's pray for Aaron, Aaron has to walk, God has to do a miracle. It was so stressful. So because of that, I got angry when it wasn't happening. That my relationship with God shouldn't just be hinged on God doing something for me or healing me or making me able to walk again, but that I had to love the Lord from a deep point in my heart, that regardless of what happened to me, the love would always still be there. So now I understand that my relationship with God is still precious and beautiful and wonderful and very much a top priority in my life, whether I'm working or not. So I'm not angry with God anymore. I have accepted my situation. And this is not to say that I've given up or saying that God can't heal me or whatever. I know He can, is very much capable of doing so. If He will do it, I will be glad to receive the healing. I'll be so thankful for the miracle. But if it doesn't happen, I'll still love God with all my heart, because it's about so much more than just that. I hope I fully answered your question. Thank you so much for asking me this. It was an important thing to address, and I appreciate you for going there, so to speak. My next question is coming from Keith, and Keith wants to know if I have ever considered venturing into showbiz full time. Very interesting question. Actually, you'll be glad to know that when I was younger, I was obsessed with the idea of being on TV, being a TV host, a talk show host, a television personality, an actor. I also wanted to be on radio. I wanted to be a DJ. I wanted to be a radio personality. But as I got a little older, I started noticing that there wasn't anyone who was like me on TV, no one with a visible disability. Maybe someone with an invisible disability, but a visible one, there was nobody. And it started chipping away at my confidence. And I started noticing, that's when I became conscious that maybe I look a little bit different from other people. My body is not as like other people's bodies, and I just lost confidence, and the dream to be on TV just started fading away. And eventually, before I realized it, I had other ambitions that had taken over my life. Hey guys, so just a quick side note, I've noticed that it's fast getting dark. So if the footage is looking a little bit shaky, please do bear with me. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, let me just go on with the questions. The next one is coming from Antonio, and Antonio has two questions for me. The first one says, what do you think the government could do to improve the lives of people with disabilities? I think there's a lot that governments can do to improve the lives of persons with disabilities, but I just want to keep my answer very short and sweet and precise. So I will say better policies, please, better policies around disability issues, and also they could help greatly by removing barriers to equal opportunities for persons with disabilities. For example, the issue that of infrastructural support for persons with disabilities, the transport networks, even the actual buildings themselves. The government could help by ensuring that whatever construction is going on, it is accessible to all people. Did any of my answers shock or surprise you? If so, which ones? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoy some inspirational material, I do post some stuff on my Facebook page every now and again, so I encourage you to go and follow me on Facebook. The link is in the description, and you will see some of the stuff that I post on there. I'll be glad to connect through Facebook, so let's make that happen. Thank you for your time, and thank you for watching my video. Let me know what you think about it in the comments as usual. And I also want to thank my friends for submitting the questions. You guys, you made this question and answer happen. I'm super proud of you, and thank you for always supporting me. I appreciate you all. And once again, remember, your life is a gift. Make the most out of it. Stay blessed and see you on the next video. I'm out.